Good afternoon, and welcome to Bad Dog Comedy TV live on YouTube and Stories with B. Please welcome your host, B. Bertrand.
Hi, friends. I hope you're having a nice day today. Welcome to another episode of Stories with B. We have this weekly show with Bad Dog Theater's YouTube channel, and I'm very excited about it. At the beginning of quarantine, I know that I was really sad and anxious a lot, and so I was trying to figure out something kind of gentle and wholesome that maybe people could enjoy and can help me kind of chill out a little bit. And since I've always had all the books that growing up, all the like storybooks and stuff, I've always kept them all and I have a whole bunch here. So I started reading a story a night, and it just kind of turned into this lovely thing. And each week now I get to have a special friend on, and I'm really excited about this week. My special friend is a comic and an overall entertainer, and they are so talented and funny and charming and lovely and in the middle of their workday and are being lovely enough to come on and chat with us for a bit. So please welcome everyone, my special friend, Rush Kazi.
Hi.
Hi, friend.
Like Mr. Rogersy. It's very cute.
I know. It's like a cute little wholesome talk show.
Yeah, super wholesome. Like the opening music was super wholesome. It sounded like a montage of like some people growing up in the 80s or something. It was nice. It was very, very soft.
Well, thank you. I like it, and I like you. And I like to start every show by saying that I hope you and everyone watching are having a nice day today. And I hope you're safe and warm and cozy, and you have all your special things. And Rush, I hope you have your special drink.
Yours is a Monster Energy drink. This is mine.
Cheers, friend. What is that?
It's just water, but we had the water turned off for several hours today. And so that's why this is so special, because we didn't have water access for 4 hours or 5 hours today.
Whenever I ask people to bring a special drink, no one knows what I mean. And 9 times out of 10, I will have water, but every so often I will have a Monster Energy drink. And if my mom always happens to be watching that one, she gets so mad at me. I know that.
I'm sorry for outing that. Didn't mean to highlight that. But
she
I can't
knows.
do caffeine. So just the idea of doing a Monster Energy drink, unless it's like super late at night, just freaks me out. For me, personally.
You never drink caffeine?
I don't drink caffeine generally. I have, during quarantine, tried a couple of random cups of coffee here and there. But before, when I tried coffee working in the office, like I just feel like I was flying out into space. Like it was just way too jittery for me.
That's wild. Well, good for you. You're certainly better off for not doing it. I quit it, and then I go to a gas station and it's like 3 for $6. I'm like, well, now I have to.
Right. Yeah. It's like you're losing money if you don't, right?
That's how I feel. Tell my mom that. So, friend.
Yes.
Oh, what were you going to say?
Oh, nothing. I'm like, I guess your mom's not really as thrifty as my mom would be, because it's like, if something's on sale, you have to get it. Like, they're Muslims, they don't eat pork, but they will buy pork on sale for us because it's on sale. Like,
my mom, I feel like she does that. I feel like at least twice a week she'll call me and ask me if I need hummus because it's on sale somewhere. And she has so much hummus and marinara sauce all the time.
Okay, so then she should totally be down with this Monster Energy drink thing, right? You think so?
That's what I told her. So when you were growing up, Rush, did you have like a relationship with books and stories and stuff?
Absolutely. Huge fan of books. First generation like Canadian that was born here. My parents are immigrants. And so one of the things that they were told like very early on before they even had kids was, make sure your kids watch a lot of TV and read a lot of books so they can immerse themselves in the language. It wasn't for English. I was born in Montreal, so it was for French, but they applied it for English when we moved to Toronto. And when we first moved to Toronto, we didn't have a library nearby. So there was a bookmobile that would come by 2 days out of the week. And I'd go into this van type thing, like an RV. And like, that's where I read my first fantasy novels and like Tolkien, and took out Planet of the Apes on VHS, like the original. I was way too young for it, but they let this 8-year-old kid take it. It was like, okay, cool. But yeah, books and just libraries in general, big relationship. The book that you have, I actually had because I had a subscription to the book service that produces those books, like the golden ones. So I still have some of those sticking around somewhere in my parents' basement. I think.
That's awesome. I loved golden books growing up. I feel like it was a nostalgic thing because my granny, she used to have all the like, I don't know how to describe them now, but they were like this really, I don't want to use this word in a bad way, but it was kind of like generic animals. And it would always be about some sort of plight, like the lion who had something caught in his paw, or like the elephant that was self-conscious, and they were all so cute. And I just, every time I see a golden book, I feel like I scoop it up.
So that sounds like Aesop's Fable-y kind of, right? Like with the lion on the paw and stuff like that. Right.
Totally.
That's cool. A lot of fun.
Yeah. What was your favorite book? Great segue. Growing up.
You asked me this like earlier today, and I was scrambling because I'm like, oh my gosh, do you mean like a novel, or like does it have to be something that's like available for everyone? So I picked The Little Mermaid, and not the original for this story, which is but Princess Bride was also one I was a big fan of. There's actually one of my favorite books that I bought a physical copy of recently is The Search for Delicious. It's a small novel. There's a mermaid on the cover, and that's why I got it from the bookmobile, because I'm obsessed with mermaids. And I didn't know what it was about. I saw a mermaid, and it's about this like royal kingdom where they don't have a dictionary, and this person is going around making a dictionary, and the word for delicious, he put down fried fish, and everyone in the kingdom agreed with him, or at least in the palace. So he decided to go out and make a poll. And that's what the book's about. It's just him traveling throughout this land, asking random people what they think delicious is, and it changes. But just to spoil the book, at the end, everyone decides that the most delicious thing in the world is water, aka my special drink.
Full circle.
It all works out. Mermaids, water.
That's really cute. You are a comic, amongst many other things, and you were telling me that you have a whole bit about the Little Mermaid.
I do, but what's like I was so obsessed with the Little Mermaid growing up, and it's probably the worst movie a little girl could base her life on, because first of all, she's a hoarder, right? Like,
fair. She likes her things.
Yeah, like thingamabobs, I've got 20.
You only need like 10 max.
No, it's too many thingamabobs. She ran away from home at the age of 16 to be with a guy she had just met. You know, she had extreme body dysmorphia, Ariel. Like, she couldn't deal with being half fish. She couldn't speak till she put out. Like, it's not a great story, but I loved it so much. Like, you see how my hair falls this way? Ariel's hair fell the opposite way. And I was 4 when the movie came out, and I didn't understand reflections. And my hair at 36 is still doing this. So
I think it's still Ariel-esque.
Ariel-esque, yes. I almost brought the wig out, but then I already explained why there were so many issues with the water. And yeah, as a mermaid, you'd think, not having water is a bad thing for a mermaid. So I was struggling today with my 4 hours without water.
I'm glad you got your water back.
Thank you.
Do you still, it sounds like it, but do you still like the whole fantasy genre in the stories and stuff, whether it be movies or books now?
I do, but it has to be specific. I've gotten really into Discovery of Witches recently, cool. Which is like a series of novels about witches and vampires and demons that live together in England, and they have some crossover with like the States. The TV show version is like an adult version of Twilight. Like, the lead actress on the show, I basically call blonde Kristen Stewart. Like, she looks like her. It's weird, but it's like if Twilight happened in your 30s, late 30s, early 40s, and you're like a professor, and then you meet a vampire that you want to marry.
I dig it. That sounds good.
It's better than it sounds. I'm not doing it any justice.
I like spooky things and like supernatural with like ghosts and like monsters and stuff like that. I like those growing up too.
I just got a 30-day membership to Shudder because it's October. It's the spooky month, right? So I want to keep myself entertained while I'm locked up.
Oh, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, Shudder is like the channel. Are you talking about Shudder or just the spooky month? Because like October has been a spooky month from before, right?
I've been seeing a lot of people posting about scary movies, like they've started marathons and stuff. And there's so many silly movies and spooky movies that I want to like just have access to and watch all of them.
Well, they're doing a 30-day free trial for Shudder. Look at me promoting everything right now that has nothing to do with it. It's just like,
do you work for Shudder?
Yeah, secretly I've been working for Shudder. But like if you go on Prime, like if you have Prime and you go through there and you can get a 30-day membership for free. And then it's like $5 a month after that if you want to keep it. It's only a week long if you go directly to Shudder. So don't go through Shudder, go through Prime. I actually secretly work for Amazon. That's what's happening.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Do you have a favorite scary movie?
Oh, this is hard. This one's hard.
I know. I don't know what mine would be.
Series and franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi, like all the really bad special effects from the early 80s. It's great.
I love that too. I've realized that, I mean, I grew up in the 80s too. I was born in 83, and there's a lot of really popular movies that seem, I'm sure at the time would be super scary, but I never saw them. Like the Gremlin series, like those look so cute to me. I've never seen it, but I want to watch all of them. They look so sweet.
Yeah, it is. It's a horror comedy. I can't portmanteau that like you would with a drama comedy and call it dramedy. It's not like, it just turns into comedy again. It's a horror comedy. It's really funny. It's cute. It's fun. And there's creepy elements if you're really little. But I watched it as an older person as well, just like in my 20s or something. And You're only a year older than me, so I don't know what it would be like to watch it at like 36, 37 for the first time. But it's still very entertaining.
I'm going to do it, and I'm going to let you know.
Okay.
I know that you're at work right now, and I really appreciate you taking, I don't know if I was supposed to say that. I'm sure the show is big enough that your bosses are watching.
Yeah, everyone knows. I'm taking my 10-minute break now, and I made it up at lunch, so.
I really appreciate you. Thank you for being on. Before we say goodbye, what would you like to promote, and where can we follow you?
If you go to rushkazi.com, that's rushkazi.com. That's my website. You can find anything that I'm affiliated with there, like social media, whatever. On my Asian Comedy All Stars YouTube, I'm a producer of that show. I'm the producer of that show. I've been posting videos from our January show that I finally got back, edited and everything. So there's a bunch of videos there for people to be entertained by for free. So basically the website, I will have links to things there.
Awesome. I really appreciate you. There we go. I really appreciate you coming on. And I'd like to say a special goodbye. Thank you, Rush. I hope you have a really great day today. And you did your best, and your best is more than good enough. And I'm really proud of you, and I love you.
Oh my God, thank you so much, B. I love you too. I really feel like I've just been hugged by Mr. Rogers virtually, but it's you, and it's better that way.
Thank you, buddy. Please tell Jeremy and Loki that I said hello. I saw Loki poking around back there earlier.
Yeah, he's hiding now. He's eating string somewhere. All right, have a good day.
Have a great day, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out. Bye, friend. All right, well, buckle up because we're going to get into one of Rush's favorite books, The Little Mermaid. And this one is Ariel's underwater adventure. There we go. All right. I love this movie too growing up, and I especially loved all the music. Can you see okay? All right. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful little mermaid named Ariel. She was the youngest daughter of the Sea King, Triton. Even though she lived at the bottom of the ocean, Ariel was not interested in her watery world. This little princess was only interested in the world above the ocean, the world of humans. Ariel spent most of her time searching through sunken ships, looking for objects that had once belonged to humans. To Ariel, these rusty old things were wonderful treasures. I like treasure too. One afternoon, Ariel was treasure hunting in a graveyard of old sunken ships with her best friend, Flounder the fish. "Come on, Flounder," shouted Ariel as she swam into a broken down ship. "Let's look in here." "Are you sure it's safe?" asked Flounder. "Sure," answered Ariel. "If you ask if it's safe and someone says sure, I would second guess that." "Sure," answered Ariel. "Follow me." Inside, Ariel found a chest full of treasures. "Oh, Flounder," gasped Ariel. "Have you ever seen anything this wonderful in your entire life?" Among the objects in the ship, Ariel found a fork and a pipe. "This is great," the little mermaid cried. She put the objects into a pouch. "I don't have any of these in my collection yet." Pretty cool treasure. Just then, Flounder heard a noise. "Well, what was that?" he cried. "I didn't hear anything," said Ariel, who was too busy looking for more treasures to notice any strange sounds. Trembling with fear, Flounder peeked outside the doorway of the ship. There, with his huge mouthful of sharp teeth open wide, was a shark. Shark, screamed Flounder as he raced back inside. Ariel grabbed her bag of treasures. She and Flounder swam quickly to the upper deck. The shark followed, snapping his jaws. Ariel and Flounder squeezed through a porthole. He looks pretty mean. Gonna have another sip of my energy drink. All right. The small porthole didn't stop the shark. He crashed right through the side of the ship after them. The mermaid and her little companion were swimming hard, but they were barely staying ahead of the shark's terrible jaws. The shark lunged at them, his jaws snapping the ship's mast as if it were a matchstick. Uh-oh. The two swam as fast as they could toward a huge old anchor. The shark followed, only inches behind them. I hope this works, gasped Ariel. Me too, cried Flounder. When they reached the anchor, Ariel and Flounder slipped through the ring at the top. The shark tried to follow, but he was too big. His enormous face got stuck in the anchor. Let's get out of here, said Ariel. We can head up to the surface to show Scuttle my new treasures. Crisis averted. On the surface, Ariel and Flounder visited with their friend Scuttle the seagull. Ariel pulled one of her new treasures out of the pouch. Do you know what this is? Ariel asked Scuttle, handing him a fork. Why, certainly, replied the cockeyed seagull. After all, I'm the world's greatest expert on humans. This is a dingle hopper. Humans use it to straighten their hair like this. Scuttle ran the old fork through Ariel's hair. What's this, Scuttle? Asked Ariel, this time handing him the pipe. This is most definitely a snarfblat, he answered. It's used to make music. Scuttle blew into the pipe, but nothing came out except water. Nothing worse than a defective snarfblat. Soon it was time for Ariel and Flounder to leave. They said goodbye to Scuttle and returned to the undersea kingdom. Ariel went to her secret cave where she hid all her human treasures. The two friends were playing with Ariel's special collection when suddenly the cave got very dark. Ariel looked up through an opening and noticed something on the surface of the water blocking out the moonlight. I'm going to see what that is, Flounder, said Ariel. On the ocean surface was a very big ship. How beautiful it is, exclaimed Ariel. We've got to get a closer look. Uh-oh. Ariel reached up and peered over the side of the ship when Flounder looked on from the water below. Ariel saw a young man. His shipmates were singing and dancing. I've never seen a human this close before, said Ariel to Scuttle, who was also curious about the humans and had come for a better look. He's very handsome, isn't he, said Ariel, looking at the young man the sailors called Prince Eric. He looks kind of hairy to me, said Scuttle, looking at Prince Eric's sheepdog Max. But Ariel didn't hear the seagull. All she could think about was the young man, the one she would someday join in the world of humans. Ariel was falling in love pretty quickly. He is handsome. Slow down, Ariel. Suddenly, without warning, a big storm came up. Rain poured down, lightning flashed, and the wind tossed the ship like a toy sailboat. Ariel watched Prince Eric as he and his crew tried to keep the ship afloat. As the ship tossed and turned in the water, a bolt of lightning hit the mast. The burning mast collapsed onto a keg of gunpowder. The explosion threw Prince Eric overboard into the raging waves. The prince, shouted Ariel. Prince Eric sank under the water. Ariel knew that if she didn't act all at once, her handsome prince would drown. Uh-oh. Ariel dived into the sea. She grabbed Prince Eric and brought him up to the surface. Holding him tightly, she swam to shore and dragged the prince onto the sandy beach. While the prince lay sleeping, Ariel stroked his hair and sang him a beautiful love song. How Ariel wished she could be with Prince Eric in the human world. Before the prince began to stir, Ariel heard his crew coming. She knew she had to leave before she was seen by the humans. Blowing the prince a kiss, Ariel turned and dived back into the ocean. What a wild ride. Ariel and Flounder returned to her secret cave so the little mermaid could be with her human treasures. Oh, Flounder, said Ariel, Prince Eric's so handsome. I can hardly wait until I see him again. Flounder just smiled. Ariel combed her hair with her dingle hopper and wished for the day when she would be with her human prince forever. To be continued. That's just a little snippet of Ariel's story, but there's a lot more to come. Thanks for hanging out with me today, friends. I hope you like that story. I hope that you have a wonderful day today. I'm proud of you. You did your best, and your best is good enough. I appreciate you, and make sure you're drinking your water and you're wearing your mask, and be gentle with yourself and be kind and proactive. And if you can, there's a link down below right here. Sean, crushing it all the time. If you're able to donate to Bad Dog, there's so many people working to make sure that these shows get out and this really great and important content and art. And if you're able to donate anything at all, that they would really appreciate that, and that would be really wonderful. Keep having tough conversations and being proactive and making sure all of our brothers and sisters and non-binary friends are safe and warm and cozy too. I appreciate you. I'm proud of you. I love you. And I'll see you next week on Friday at 4:30, friends. Have a great day.